like and subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show in any way that you can. And if you can't at all, just sit back and enjoy the show as I, Hal Sparks, your guide through the madness that we all currently live in, continues to be right about everything. Now, if I may, Mr. Chairman, if I may, this harkens back, this week in particular, harkens back to election night. Some of you stayed up all night on election night with me, and it was beautiful. It was a great time. We had a lovely time, and many of you were worried. How is it going to work out? I said early on, I was like, it's going to be Biden Harris. They're going to win, and they're going to get 306, and they're going to beat him by at least 3 million votes, higher than Hillary. And I was right, almost to the number. You're welcome. And some people were worried, and I was glad to be there to hold your hand through it. Now, there have been periods over the last couple of months when the naysayers and the doom sprayers have all been talking about how Biden's done and the Dems are like, we're going to lose the House, we're going to lose the Senate. And if you'll notice, all along I was going, don't get out over your skis. Don't get too excited. Things have a tendency to come around. And I was pointing towards why gas prices would start coming down. And I was pointing towards the popularity of certain programs. And I was pointing to the fact that the infrastructure bill was just starting to kick the jobs into high gear. I was right. Again and again. Now, I don't say that to brag, although it's worth bragging about. I do come on. But I also want you to know that I have not just been blowing smoke this whole time. That when I tell you about these things, when I tell you that there's, it's going to be okay, I mean it. And if it's not, I'll tell you. Just saying. I am bragging a little bit, but it's a good kind of a brag. It's a certainly not a humble brag, but cut me some slack. Okay, so, as we've gone through, especially the Biden's numbers and everybody's like, oh no, they're terrible. We're in so much trouble. Is he going to run? The Democrats aren't even sure if they're going to want him to run with blah, blah. All that shit's been going on. I've been, if you'll notice, just tapping the brakes. Just, not so fast. And I'll be goddamn if I'm not right. And boy, oh boy, is it pissing off all the right people. Now this week, the doors and the TYT's very, very mad. They're kicking the dog in the studio this week. They get off the air going, I know everything. Everything's exactly the way I want it to be. And then they cut and they're just kicking the cat out into the parking lot. And that's to be expected. Is the wonderful folks over at the 5 / Gutfeld tonight. It's very strange. I guess she's just on Gutfeld. Is that what it is? I can't tell the difference between the Gutfeld show and the 5. And quite frankly, I don't know why I should give a fuck. Like there's a difference. Who cares? It's brutally unfunny. It is lacking in all material worth. And yet, well, I guess, and that in and of itself makes it perfect for Fox News. Of course, it's the hit show of Fox News. Of course it is. So Dana Perino, she's having a rough time. Dana Perino, this is my beef. What's your beef with this is my beef with all the Biden comeback kid stories. Oh, it's so, really? You have I'm shocked, Dana. You have a beef with the fact that Biden's poll numbers are kicking ass. That's upsetting you in some ways. I never would have spotted that. I'm shocked, as is everybody here. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so this is finally a guest host who makes Greg look tall. Oh my God, is Dana Perino filling in? Oh man. Oh good Lord. This is gonna be horrifying. Oh no, they're just... Do they just basically do a version of... This is Red Eye.
Happy Thursday, everyone, and welcome to Purina with 2 exclamation points. As the queen of mid-morning, I'm thrilled to be hosting tonight, especially since this is obviously way past my bedtime. We begin the way all...
Let me know if I need to put on a noise filter so that the laughter and the applause doesn't overwhelm the talking. I mean, ugh.
Begin with a Fox News alert. We are reporting tonight on a missing person. 79-year-old Caucasian male identifies as who and occasionally calls others Jack. Last seen in Delaware, Kiowa Island, or maybe the basement. Wearing khakis, a button-down, dark aviators, and a mask dangling off his ear. And carrying the nuclear football. He answers to the name of the comeback kid and the big guy, a.k.a. your president, Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the hardest part, I think, for her to get out.
Also goes by Scranton Joe or Brandon. If you
all right, zing.
wanted his attention, just say, "Hey, who wants some ice cream?" And he'll come wandering around to your door.
Well, it beats the heck out of saying, "Hey, does anybody know who's this 16-year-old girl is and why her dad isn't around?" I mean, that's it's not just Trump. I mean, there's a myriad of people at Fox that would come running.
Searchy for him, high and low. Mostly low because he falls a lot. Strange.
Jesus Christ.
Right, considering just last week they told us that after a string of big wins, the president was on a roll, that his stretch of bad luck was behind him, that his poll numbers had hit rock bottom. And like a line of Parmesan cheese under Hunter's nose, there was nowhere to go but up.
So the new crime that Hunter Biden is accused of is snorting Parmesan cheese. I think in reference to the fact that he would have at one point he was carpet mining for crack and found some Parmesan cheese and would have snorted it. Gee, I don't know why Greg would let her have all these sweet jokes.
And that the Inflation Reduction Act was going to turn his presidency right around. I guess when your EKG flatlines twice a week, anything looks like a comeback.
Holy shit.
Look at these headlines right here.
Yeah. I guess if you think things are going to turn around for you, then you're obviously demented. Here, let's look at these headlines that are pointing to a complete turnaround.
They've been hyping this all of August. Watch this.
Well, that's because they've been signing a bunch of bills all of August, dummy.
Yeah, don't look now, people, but all of a sudden, Sleepy Joe has himself a pretty fat stack of accomplishments.
This is a big dang on deal. It is a big deal. This is huge, and I don't think people understand how big this is.
This has been an extraordinarily successful 2 years legislatively.
Big victory at the White House.
Yeah, it's such a big win for President Biden. He's actually interrupting his vacation and flying back to the White House today just for this bill signing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, literally. These are all true. Is this supposed to be a story about how the liberal media is protecting himself?
Well, the Inflation Reduction Act, it's in the books, and it's a book that no one is buying. Like The Plus by Greg Gutfeld.
Is that a real book? Dear God. That's a very Fox thing. By the way, you're allowed to shit talk any of your friends as long as they're in the room. The minute they leave the room, you're a bad friend. Did Dennis Miller write these? No. No one wrote these.
No one is buying that it will reduce inflation. The shamelessness from this White House.
Shameless. Almost as shameless as the writers on this show, I guess.
They just change the name of a recession. If we can just convince them that despite the record high gas prices they're paying, inflation is actually 0%, we'll be fine. Well, the bill will raise taxes on people making as little as $10,000 a year in order to buy electric cars for families.
Most Americans, including those that face increased costs as a result of the bill. From an opinion piece at Fox Business, it's good. Always citing your own network is always a great way to bolster your argument.
And the media just clapped along and wrote their obedient comeback kid stories. I can't wait for the sequel, Return to the Basement. So Brian...
Jesus Christ. I take it back. Now I know why he left.
Still laughing, but...
I mean, maybe, I don't know. Maybe the opening monologue on this show is always this bad?
in his own basement. You know, between sobs and bites of DoorDash, he's already eaten 3 drivers. Speaking of eating, families are paying the highest prices in 40 years, and groceries and food, it's so expensive. And Biden is forgiving the student loan debt of soon-to-be wealthy doctors and lawyers.
Yes, that's who's being helped out. People who got federal loans and have $10,000 in Pell Grant debt or whatever. Meanwhile, by the way, doctors and lawyers, most of them are you're talking the neighborhood of like $125,000 in debt. They're getting about, 20, 15 shaved off their bill. But everybody else is, went to community college or a small university for 4 years, is getting most of their debt taken up. I mean, this is what they need you to think.
He's got plenty of both. And these are all symptoms of the same problem. The Latinx breakfast tacos, the gender issues, the paper straws, the border...
The paper straws. I'm glad that they're dealing with the heavy issues that Americans are dealing with. I mean... Baby formula. Oh, that's not going to fly anymore. They're basically running out of. We're watching them run out of talking points. Now they're having to stack them it's like they're playing the hits. Remember this one? Remember this oldie but a goodie from last spring?
Migrants at a 4-star, $700 a night hotel in New York City is permeating all across.
Yeah, that was a stunt by the Texas government.
The nation, like monkeypox. Sinking into our daily lives like an unsightly stain on America's national tablecloth. Democrats have let their narrowest segment of activists take leadership control of the party, and the Democrats have modeled their agenda after it.
I see. That's why Biden is passing a lot of centrist bipartisan bills that have been languishing during the divisive last decade.
Say to AOC within 2 years. And that's my beef with all the Biden comeback stories. Democrats joining other Democrats to pass a bill to spend money doubling the size of the IRS and giving money to green energy companies, that's not an accomplishment.
Dana, this is supposed to be a comedy monologue. This is the show. Never mind.
It doesn't do anything for the 93...
Oh. Is that is that the audio clipping problem that I always end up having with this nonsense? Hold on.
We're concerned about inflation. But that's Democrats' base now. Between 7 and 20% of the country that agrees on the furthest left nonsense. And the media...
Then, if he's only appealing to 7 to 20% of the fucking populace, then why are his numbers going up? Hold on. May I show you this? Hold on. This is the part that I think lines up really well with this. I pushed this. I did this earlier, but I want to find the actual. Hold on. I got to find the actual thing. 1 second. Oops. News. 1 second. Oh, where's the, hold on. I posted this earlier, but I don't want to go like, hold on. All right. Here you go. This is why Dana Perino is so mad. Hold on 1 second. Here it is. This is what she's pissed about. Biden job rating rises to 44%, highest in a year. up 6 points from July's record low. Rise in job approval rating is largely owed to independents. These are not 7 to 20% of the base. Let's see. Biden's pandemic response is only issue of 11 with majority approval. But after hitting a record low in July, President Joe Biden's approval rating is up 6 percentage points to 44%, his highest in a year. While this uptick represents a significant improvement on the heels of several policy successes, he still remains underwater overall, with 53% of Americans disapproving. By the way, Trump topped out at 44. 44 was the highest Trump ever got. Largely buoyed by political independents, who approvals arose from 31% to 40%. He's 7% bump in independents. Democrats 81%, Republicans 4%. I mean, honestly. First of all, if you're talking to 7 to 20% of the base, the hardliners, the most progressives, those are the Democrats that don't like him. This is the TYT crowd right here. The other end, the Democrats that aren't in this 81%. That's who that is. Democrats, independents, Republicans. Look at this tick. Now, I don't know, honest to God, why Democrats are even faltering in this thing. It seems strange to me, but whatever. Independents obviously dragged him down, and bringing them back up to a previous, from June 21. That is achievable, and they are going to go for it. It's not going to be by winning over the 7 to 21% of Democrats in this. And most, in this group, they even hung on during this period, February, March. They literally, this is who they're asking, and as soon as he got elected, and they're like, nah, fuck that guy. Those are the same folks. Here they are. November to December 21. Weird. All right. Anyway, so here's the Republicans, though. Biden had the highest he's ever had is 12%. He's at 4%. If he starts rallying some of those folks, which he's trying to do with the MAGA Republicans aren't representative. I don't have any respect for those, but I have respect for other Republicans. With that talk, which is what he's going to do, that'll bring back 10 to 15%.
Feels like they're solving a climate crisis that they're not really impacting at all. Pointless policy designed by the far left and then cheered on and validated by the far left. It's just another Dem self-licking ice cream cone.
It's a what?
So when the media inevitably sends reporters to truck stops and diners in middle America this fall to see how they got so much of the midterms wrong, the Democrats should consider sending a few staffers too. Now don't worry, staffers, you won't get hurt. Triggered, maybe. But that's exactly what you need. Have you seen that meme of the pawn shop star guy saying, well, the best I can do is? People are like, hey, we have the worst inflation in 40 years. Gas prices are $2 higher than they should be. The border is a mess. We're worried about Ukraine, Taiwan, and the Middle East. Our kids have been out of school for 2 years.
No, they haven't. The fuck are you talking about?
And are facing genuine challenges. And the left is like, well, best we can do is electric car tax credits, 87,000 more IRS agents, illegal student loan debt cancellation for Harvard.
Removing lead from the drinking water, creating an infrastructure project that's the biggest one since the 50s. Putting more Americans back to work. The CHIPS Act, for fuck's sake. We're going to have 9 multi-billion-dollar chip factories in the United States up and running by spring.
On identifying as Latinx. Oh, and by the way, I'm two-spirited, so if you criticize me, the other spirit will report you to Human Resources.
Two-spirit is not two-spirited. Two-spirited would mean you are overly spirited. And dumb. And the dumb person. You're dumb. You're big dumb, Dana Perino. Dumb Perino. This is so weak.
And the poll results are in. No bump for the comeback kid. More like...
Nope, they aren't.
Dead cat bounce kid. Still, the media tries to put a good spin on thing. Here's Reuters. Biden approval rises to 41%, highest since early June. Biden approval rises to 40%, highest in 2 months. That's like saying your horse finished last, but hey, at least he finished.
No, it isn't, especially considering that he's within the margin of error for Trump's entire presidency.
Surgeon bragged he had a 41% approval rate. You'd take your operation elsewhere, even to Dr. Jill.
Okay. First of all, again, at least the surgeon had an approval rating of 98% at one point, and you might chalk it up to some bad Yelp reviews by people who hate him, whereas Trump never got above 44. 45, never reached 45.
No matter what they try, though, these are the
Oh.
numbers that will keep the comeback kid from getting too far, like the shot collar they put in his underpants.
Huh? I honestly, these are so like, this is like sarcasm instead of having a sense of humor. That's what this is.
74% say the U.S. is headed in the wrong direction. What a comeback, huh?
Yeah, but not for the same reasons. Half of them think that it's headed in the wrong direction because Trump might never go to jail.
Since Bill de
Bring that up.
Blasio's run for Congress. The last time we saw this much disapproval, Jerry Lee Lewis married his cousin. We'll explain it later, Kat. But the sour mood is not
I think that's a young joke or maybe an old joke. I don't know.
coming from Republicans, and despite the big comeback pronouncements, several Democrats, they are now distancing from the president.
It's Washington's fault. They set the rules, weakened our supply chain, and spiked inflation.
So when Obama's trade deal threatened jobs here, I voted against it. And I voted with Trump on trade. I don't answer to any political party.
I was the only Democrat to vote against trillions of dollars of President Biden's agenda.
I stood up to summon my own party and pushed to cut the gas tax and to hire more police officers.
I learned about public service.
Yeah, by the way, these are folks who are running in hazy districts, in blue to like purplish districts. This is how they're gonna talk. At this point, the Republicans are panicking that these folks are actually using this messaging.
Not Washington.
And others are finding reasons to watch.
Also, by the way, voting against Obama on one thing and voting with Trump on another is not the same as saying, and I mean, they're tacking these together, but the idea is that I also voted against Biden when he didn't.
There tonight when they hear Biden is coming to town, which only makes them want to sniff it more. It's the least popular tour since Gutfeld joined the Chippendales. The comeback kid stories were already written in the can. The media loves that storyline when it's being said about a Democrat.
God damn, is this going on long or is it just me?
What say you, Joe?
No, I don't need any comeback. What are you talking about? I'm here, man. I don't need a comeback. I do things nobody else does. Did you ever try falling up a flight of stairs? Yeah. How about falling off a bike that's not moving? Try it. Do. I got you, man. You know, I recovered from COVID like 40 times now.
Oh my God. This is so, all right. I thought at some point this was going to be a, did they ever throw to the rest of the people? I guess, yeah, here they go. There's something old like Keith Richards, Skip. This is so boring.
White House. It's where good common sense policy has gone to die. In lieu of
Jesus Christ.
nations.
I'm so bored. I don't know how they do it. I'm very confused. This is just, I don't know why was everybody else not available?
And it leaves all of the rest of us in mourning, but just for 2 more years.
What?
Let's welcome tonight's guest. He's like Caitlyn Jenner. People used to call him father. Fox News contributor Jonathan Morris.
What? Oh, was he used to be a priest or something?
He's a tough act to follow because the audience is usually asleep. Actor, writer, and comedian Jamie LaSalle. He's the smartest person ever to leave Texas for New York. Hosted Lawrence Jones Cross Country on Saturday nights, Lawrence Jones. And as the most prominent woman on late night TV, she inspired me when I was growing up. Fox News contributor, Kat Timpf. All right, Lawrence.
Oh God.
The media, they try to celebrate Joe. You saw that, like the ladies, they were saying this is huge, this is big. But do they not realize that he's making inflation worse?
How? I mean, honest to God, there is nothing in this that would make quote unquote inflation worse. Even the people who are getting a break from their student loans, it's just money that they're gonna make that they don't have to put towards this. It's not gonna. The idea that somehow they're printing money or the Fed's gonna turn on the money printer and get rid of, hand out $10,000, to people. Like, it's forgiveness of loans. If you don't have the debt anymore, you can't forgive it. It's up to a certain point. If you have $8,000 worth of debt loan, they don't forgive 8 of it and give you $2,000. This is weird.
I mean, it's quite sad. I love my
Yes, but enough about the monologue.
Cowboys. I root for them every time, even if I know they're going to end up losing. And I think that's where the media is right now, except for you have a whole group of people that are on the sidelines saying the president is heading the wrong direction, like just turn around. And you can.
I think he's making a football reference that he's running towards the wrong finish line, or he's running towards the wrong end zone, which would technically be in this particular, in our, dichotomous political landscape, that he would be going towards the Republican side of something. It's so stupid.
Presidency. I just don't think the commander-in-chief is listening. I think the only people that he's trying to please right now are the progressive. The problem is it's not enough of them that are going to vote to get him across to another term. It's pretty sad.
He's not up this fall, dummy.
Maybe they should spend time in the diners like I do every single day talking with people. Go to the barbershops, America. I often say, when the white diners and the black barbershops are saying the same thing, we got a problem in the
Or it could be that you only go to the places where they're going to reaffirm what you believe.
It's a good barometer. You need to patent that one.
That's right.
Jamie, did you
Trademark.
hear about all of this up in Alaska?
Yeah, no, I'm just hearing all of this now. Yeah, like, am I living in an alternate universe? Like,
yes, you are.
The way they spin everything? You can't say gas prices are low if, like, they were too high to begin with, right? Like, I remember when I was married, my wife would always go, like, we got to buy this thing from Pier 1, like, it's 50% off. And I would go, yeah, but they also came up with the first price. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know if that's a big deal. Yeah, but this comeback kid
We don't know if that's a big deal. Fuck me.
crazy. More like come back to life, kid. I was upset, though, because what we learned this week was that Biden did sign off on the FBI raid. I feel like that was widely reported. But in his defense, he thought he was signing for an Amazon package.
Oh, my God. Ugh.
He's like, ooh, a package for me. I hope it's something mushy I could eat.
I guess these are ageism jokes, or...
And the nuclear codes thing to me is such...
Oh, he's looking. They got him in the teleprompter. So everybody goes... Is that how the show works? Is that how Gutfeld's show work? Everybody gets their... It's a roundtable joke thing. You give them your stuff, and they put them in the teleprompter for you, so you know what your cue is to go hit those beats in a limited amount of time. Because it's good for the format. People like it.
Obviously, they changed the code. I did hear from a pretty good source that Biden's nuclear codes, it's 00005, because it's almost impossible to forget your Social Security number.
See, it's old. It's an old thing.
Kat, what do you think of the Democrats who are now trying to they vote with him like 100% of the time, but then they run ads for their election saying, I'm distancing from him?
Yeah, well, I mean, because he's also distancing from everyone. That's why I feel like
He is?
does feel like he's having a comeback every time we see him. Because we don't see him very often, so like he's like because he sets the bar for himself very, very low. So if he makes it up the stairs, we're like, that's incredible. If he gets out of full set.
Good fucking Lord. Oh my God. I got maybe a minute more of this. I can't take it. This is brutal.
Because he sets the bar so low for himself. So
Sets the bar so low for himself. You lunatic. He got us out of Afghanistan, passed an infrastructure bill, and then just allowed Medicare to cap the prices they pay for medicine. All stuff that Trump ran on doing and punted every 2 fucking weeks.
Comeback if we actually know where he is.
I don't know what the fuck that is, by the way. Like, he gave a speech and it was on the air yesterday. He every time he signs something, he comes out and, like, I don't know where this whole, like, he disappeared idea is.
Jonathan, how are you?
Honestly,
How are you? Are you done? You know,
comfortable here? Are you uncomfortable?
no, like none of us should be comfortable here because we have a former press secretary from George Bush, a former priest, theologian, current theologian, executive coach, doing a comedy
executive coach.
Yes.
Like none of us should be
What
comfortable
could go
with this.
wrong?
But
No, there is no. I unequivocally, there is no way this can be described as a comedy show.
obvious, like the ridiculousness of so much that's going on in this world right now that it's fun to laugh at it, honestly.
It's so fun.
We have to laugh at it.
We have to laugh. I have to laugh.
It's good to laugh at it.
It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good to laugh.
At the same time, we recognize we have a very serious issue of trust.
Yes, we have to. That's what it is. Our trust has been broken
in our leadership, and we all know it's a very serious thing. And it starts with the presidency. If we have a president who's really not running anything,
he really is running everything,
and that they get a lot of stuff done when he is not doing anything, that's a pretty sad situation, and we see that in a lot
Not if you like the stuff that's getting done, I think.
Parts of our society right now, and I'm glad we're talking about these issues.
Just real quick.
It's so good that we're here to talk about these issues.
Jamie, how do the working people of Alaska feel about having to pay off the student loans of people like AOC?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't talked to tons of people, but I would say in general, not fans. You know?
All right, I gotta go. I can't. Like this. That's. Oh God. That's Dana Perino filling in on Gutfeld's show, which the only difference between it and the 5 is the seating chart. Ugh. Oh, God. The other thing, too, is there's like 9... I was about to say, there's like 9 conservative comics out there who are complete pricks and could do that job better than Dana Perino, but I bet you Greg Gutfeld wouldn't want them to fill in. I'm going to go with that, because I think he would be concerned they might actually get a laugh, and then that's that. You know what I mean? Then they're like, oh wait, oh yeah, forgot. You know what's funny? I've been working here so long, I forgot Greg sucks. Oh, so awful.